Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to another reaction. Gearing up towards, in preparation towards I-DLE's comeback on the 15th, if I'm not mistaken. They just came out with a brand new music video, pre-release for Allergy, if I'm not mistaken, is the name of the song. I'm really enjoying the concept that they got going on in preparation for their comeback. And checking out soon, hopefully today or by the time that I release everything, I will react to Allergy as well. But I've been meaning to check out their album I Never Die. It's something that has been in my mind for the longest time. I meant to do a reaction to that album last month, but some things got pushed around and I just decided to, at the very least, that before their actual comeback happens, that I would most definitely check out the album. And we're finally here. And we have 6 songs in front of us, as I did react to Tomboy and I did react to My Back. So I'm not gonna put it out there in this reaction. I might listen to these songs just to, although my memory is quite refreshed because Tomboy was literally covered on Boys Planet, and that song is so fucking iconic. And My Bag, like, just thinking of Suyeon and the way that she went in the beginning there, it feels as if I watched that music video 2 hours ago. In any case, we're checking out the rest of the album, and hopefully I will be able to manage and put all of this in one video. If not, I will most likely have to split this reaction into 2 parts due to copyright. So if you see this video in 2 parts, YouTube won, and I lost and got another headache with splitting the video. In any case, let's get into it. There you are. Oh. Oh my God. Oh. I love this.
Surprise. Your pants, I bought it. 검은 양말 벗어주길. Her give mini pill. 원하고 조절 못하니. Hell no, does he know the honey bear? Red car, go by daddy. Out company, looking forward to your wedding.
Oh my. Oh my God, this song is so early 2000s. Getting some Avril Lavigne vibes. Holy shit.
Nice coffee. 휘어지는 red lip. And 네가 싫어했던 smoky. Yeah.
Damn, I love almost like these Avril Lavigne vibes that I'm getting. The song kind of like throws me back to my childhood in a way. There's definitely like this punk rock. There's an emphasis on their character and them being completely outside of the box that is K-pop, basically. Not thinking about being perfect, not thinking about being the prettiest, even though they are the prettiest. But like even like the cursing, as far as like that's something that usually you wouldn't expect from an idol, and they're going against the grain in every which way, from the actual production of the song, the instrumental, to their vocals. And I just love how all of them fit this concept so insanely well. Mion's voice is so incredibly versatile. Uki's voice, Uki or Yuki? I always said Yuki, but I heard her say Uki. So now I'm in a conflict. Her voice was so fucking incredible. It makes me want to listen to Bonnie and Clyde again, to be honest. Shuha's vocals here were also really incredible. I love the playfulness that Soyeon has in her voice, and how her character just fits every single genre. Mini's vocals are some of the best that there are in K-pop, and that line can be applied. That sentence can be applied to all of them, really. But to follow up, on Tomboy, as far as leaving, goodbye, asking what is so crazy about someone like me with a potty mouth, basically. I'm always nasty. That was a really cool line. Did you want me to be a stupid angel until the very end? So that kind of like reminds me of the lines of not being a Barbie doll, and like the lyrics, why are you so cranky or angry, boy? Did you want a Barbie doll? It's not yours, I'm not yours. All those kinds of lyrics. And with Shua basically saying like, I'm not okay, I'm just gonna put my leather jacket, because that, like, being that tomboy ish version of myself is what will help me to get over this breakup, because it hurt me. The outro with Mini, her delivering it with her vocals, is absolutely beautiful, as far as like losing my mind. Spilled iced coffee, and the smoky, you hate it. The smoky eyes, potentially, like parts of me that you didn't like because you wanted me to be that Barbie doll, potentially. So basically, not sacrificing who you are in order to be with that person. But even though at the end of the day, you manage to. There's lyrics of, I don't regret kicking the blanket, which maybe is like kicking the habit in a way, as far as like breaking up with this person. But it still hurts. But that person wasn't good for me, because they didn't like me for the character, for the me that I am. They wanted me to be someone else. That's at least my kind of like understanding. Feel free to let me know your own thoughts, and if maybe Soyeon talked about the song herself, let me know. Let's move on to the next song.
One step at a time.
Now, there was one performance, I don't remember if it was like Golden Disc or one of their live performances from an award show last year, that I actually did check out. So I think that I know parts of this song, but I don't know any of the lyrics, and I'm pretty sure that it was shortened. So I'm still going into the song not remembering too much. So let's go.
One step at a time. There was a villain. Who is villain? Yeah.
That feels so classical with Mion. Holy shit. And some of the lyrics make me think of, I guess we're throwing it forward to their last album before the upcoming one, a song called Sculpture, which was incredibly dark. There's a little bit of that darkness there. Her deep voice is just...
If the villain dies.
Oh. My heart is beating so fast right now. This song is amazing.
Yeah, you put me down and rub me that in fact you don't even know me that well. I never cry but I was the pay yesterday as well cause of her. Who is the villain? 그 악당이 나였네 모든 걸 망치는 그녀를 미워했는데 이 소설 속 악당은 나였네. You got over author 거기서 help and not all 변한 게 없어져 나의 play는 바꿔버릴 거야 이거. You got over author 거기서 help and not all no, no, no.
Jesus Christ. Damn.
If the villain dies.
Oh, damn. The sass in her voice there. It's almost like a villain walking with a walking stick, just doing this or something. That's what this chorus feels like. Last chapter, right? Then it says right, as if writing. Damn. Holy shit. So yeah, the villain is me, but the villain never dies. If Sculpture is like the Joker if it was a Darren Aronofsky movie, this is Joker if it was the Heath Ledger Joker. That's kind of what it's like. I don't know how to explain. This feels a little bit more sassy, but the lyrics, there's still an element of sadness, and it feels kind of like almost like depressing, but not as much as Sculpture was, which was absolutely like I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about that song, to be honest. I love the way they're basically talking about themselves. I hated her for ruining everything. Almost like having like literally saying heroine, like a hero and a villain within me, a bad and a good guy, but it's almost like the good version of me was the one who was kind of like weak, and I hate that version of me. Why did you love her? Whereas in the first pre-chorus, I believe Mion sings why did you love me, but then the second pre-chorus with Meanie says why did you love her? I was like talking about themselves from an outside perspective, almost like looking at yourself through a window, seeing another version of you. That's kind of what it feels like. And like the way the chorus drops and it says bullet, love, die, the love which is the bullet which killed me, because this love was poisonous, this love was deadly, this love was the love that I gave was my own demise, which kind of like relates back to Never Stop Me, for example, as far as like being heartbroken and having that lock on the love. And also what we said about the mention of a heroine, as far as like having a hero, almost like the villain who considers themselves a hero. Like a true villain is a villain that you can actually relate to and understand and actually sympathize with. It's not a villain that just wants to completely destroy the world and just have no logic behind it whatsoever. So it's like they're making themselves the hero of the story because they were forced to be the villain. It's like the person who broke their heart. It's almost like they're basically blaming him. I believe there are lyrics saying, God or author, I'm going to hell, but not alone. So it's not necessarily I'm not alone as far as like whether you're the hero or the villain, you're still one person. So this is maybe where they're kind of like blaming the person who potentially broke their heart in something like Never Stop Me and Tomboy. Like it definitely introduces like creating almost like an alter ego for yourself. Or basically like not even creating an alter ego, but like creating a situation where you want to rewrite the history of a relationship through your own mind. And that's why the constant never ending chapter that the villain is never going to die because the villain is inside of me all along, and it's something like he'll only die if the hero dies as well, like we are one. Even though this is the third song on the album, this kind of feels like the origin story of the villain that is the girls of I-DLE. So it's like that bullet, which is the love which tried to kill them. It turned them into a villain. That's at least, those are my 2 cents, honestly. Seeing as this is an album reaction, I'm not going to talk too much about this. Also, there, like the last line saying, I'm depressed by the villain's laughter on the last chapter. As they are the villain. So it's almost like there's a yin yang, not even a yin, there's like a battle between the hero and the villain. Like, I'm depressed by the villain's laughter. The hero version, or the version of I-DLE who still has something good left in them, is drowning by the version of I-DLE that is the villain, so to speak. It's really, really interesting. So despite becoming the villain and never dying, in reality, I'm still depressed because the villain is laughing and I'm losing myself potentially. I'm not sure, but the song is incredible. Like, I'm kind of shocked by how much unfamiliar it sounds like to me, even though I checked it out in one of the live performances, but this is absolutely incredible. And the chorus absolutely kills. No pun intended, I guess. The girls are doing such a phenomenal job. Like, I'm blown away. There's not a single genre that these girls cannot cover, and I'm fucking stoked to check out the next song. So let's go.
I'm alone in this room for so long. 너에 대한 생각들로.
This is the version that is depressed by the villain's laughter, kind of, because there's like this. I don't know how to, like, it feels almost like euphoric. It feels like there's hope. And it's a movie, Ready Action. Damn. Oh, it's me.
거짓말을 내게 하지 않았고 마지막 그 한마디 참았던 면 우린 함께였을까.
Oh, okay, nice. This chorus is absolutely euphoric. And I thought for a second that this is the version of them that is depressed, listening to the villain laugh, but now already is like, I'm done with you already.
외로운 오늘 밤도 사랑은 졌고 그날로 우린 없어 늘 내게 달렸던 연애의 시작과 끝 변함없이 같지 않은 착한 척하는 그 말투 나 지긋지긋해 너의 실체를 알았게 옆자리에 만족했던 멍청이는 없어 이제도
Oh, goddamn. I'm sick and tired of knowing who you are. There's an idiot who's satisfied with the seat next. So once I'm gone, you're just gonna settle for the seat next to me. Damn. Go off. Go on, girl.
You never know what I've been through. 울고 매달리고 싶었지.
Okay. So there is. So they're actually for real. There's no ounce of regret. Oh. Damn, I love the chorus. Oh. Feels like a dance break. Oh. Was that a gunshot? That felt like Bullet Love Die from Villain Dies. That feels like the gunshot. So the villain shot all chances of the relationship ever being a thing again, kind of. Damn. Holy shit. Oh. That almost felt like a panic attack. Like the breathe, it almost felt like chaos was happening. The gunshot, what sounded like a gunshot, could be referenced to Villain Dies, to that line with Love Bullet Die. And then saying breathe, as far as like remind yourself that you're okay and this is a good thing that this relationship is over, kind of. I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah. Holy shit. That was amazing. And I kept on waiting for like that moment that maybe they're hesitating and maybe it's gonna give me the vibes of Han with Alone. Not Alone in Winter, but Han Alone. Where it feels like they're kind of like trying to convince themselves that this relationship is over and I'm having this funeral for you and all that kind of stuff. Though I'm not sure if that was the song that made me feel this way or was it Alone in Winter that made me feel this way. They were connected if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, the song seems to like go through like this the stage of this relationship was over, and if only you knew how much I cried and how much pain I was. But it's almost like you settled for the seat next to you. So the second I was gone, the next seat was available, and you sat in the next seat to the next person, or someone else came in to that empty seat. Like to you, I'm just an empty seat, basically. Also, it's kind of like falling in love with the wrong person and giving them your all when they do not return that same level of love or commitment and everything. So that was a really cool that was a beautiful song. It's actually one of my favorite songs right now by I-DLE. As far as like B-sides go, it's hard to determine which one is my absolute favorite because from the last album, holy shit. And now Never Stop Me was amazing. Villain Dies is Villain Dies could have been easily the title track as well. Already feels like a hidden gem that I'm glad that is a B-side. There's like a sense of euphoria in it, especially when it feels like it's an actual decision to cut this person off and be done with it. No matter if they try to come back to you and try to make things right, you already know that it's done. Although the next song is called Polaroid, and Polaroid potentially kind of like could represent like looking back at memories, the Polaroids of our moments together and everything. So very excited to get into that. Let's go. By the way, I hope the lyrics are accurately-ish translated at least, because it would be a bitch to go for genius with each song, so
A lot of people want us to grow up. 시간은 참 빠르게만 가는데 I want pleasure. 그땐 왜 모든 게 다 그저 어려웠을까? Don't be sad. Let's forget everything with the
Flash, nice.
Can I take out the Polaroid and then we smile brightly? 슬퍼지더라도 울지는 않을게. Let's make a funny face. Take out the Polaroid. We shouldn't forget this. Please remember. 우리 사진 속에 그때 그 미소에. Let's make a funny face.
Oh my god.
I think we can look back, 'cause we've been too busy. We've been too busy. 잠깐 쉬어가자 우리. 행복할 수 있게, 더 웃을 수 있게. 그땐 왜 모든 게 다 그저 어려웠을까? Don't be sad. Let's forget everything with the flash.
Oh my god, Neon.
Can I take out the Polaroid and then we smile brightly? 슬퍼지더라도 울지는 않을게. Let's make a funny face. Take out the Polaroid. We shouldn't forget this. Please remember. 우리 사진 속에 그때 그 미소에. Let's make a funny face.
Damn.
We should keep this memory. Take out the Polaroid. We should keep this memory. Can I take out the Polaroid and then we smile brightly? 슬퍼지더라도 울지는 않을게. Let's make a funny face. Take out the Polaroid. We shouldn't forget this. Please remember.
This song just makes you smile but cry at the same time.
Let's make a funny face.
Damn.
We should keep this memory. Take out the Polaroid. Let's make a funny face.
Damn. This was one of the most beautiful songs. This song is incredibly relatable, and looking at some comments, apparently Uki not only participated in arranging, composing, but also wrote the lyrics for this song. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And also, this song feels incredibly personal, considering the fact that this was their first album, if I'm not mistaken, without Sujin, which was obviously kind of, as someone who was very much and is very much in love with Sujin, she was amazing. And obviously, I will keep on wishing that she was part of I-DLE and comes back, even though it may not happen. Apparently, a lot of people are saying that Sujin used to say this all the time, let's take a photo together. And her entire room was full of Polaroids of the members, family, and friends. So this comment says that it's literally like they're talking about Sujin. And just in general, like one photo is worth 1,000 words, I believe is the phrase or something among those lines. Looking back at those Polaroids and having an entire story, an entire chapter, if we want to connect it all together. Also in a relationship, which kind of what it felt like with songs like Villain Dies and Already. Just because that person is no longer part of your life, it doesn't mean that that person at one point in time didn't make you happy and that you didn't have happy memories with him and that he made you feel special. And looking at photos is one of the things that everybody loves doing, looking back at memories and reminiscing and thinking about what happened that day. And behind this photo of us smiling, actually we were fighting the entire day beforehand. There's a lot of conversations like this, like behind this photo there's like this crazy story. But this, with the knowledge of Sujin no longer being part of I-DLE, especially when it was so fresh when they came back with Tomboy back then, it feels incredibly personal, and it feels like it could easily relate to the way that they're all feeling while looking back at the memories and how they felt when Sujin was around, and what kind of a endearing and kind person she is, and just looking back at memories. This song, I don't feel like I need to say anything else. It's pretty self-explanatory, and I feel like it's one of the more relatable songs that we've checked out on this channel. So let's move on to the next one. This feels like a song for the fandom. Like, I like the sound of laughter better than crying. It almost feels like this song should be like an escape for anyone who listens to it. So, like, the fandom. Oh. Also, to connect it to Polaroid, I'll grab that Polaroid and put it with me. Kind of. But also to the fans, because our music will be there. Let's take it back. I talked over it. I'm sorry. Damn.
Yeah. 원래 힘든 거래 모두가 마치 난연 아닌 것처럼 눈치를 보며 그냥 버틸까도 하다가 때려치워 나는 버거워 이 순간 행복해질래 지각이라도 잠깐 멈춰서 쉴래 책임져야겠지 현실과 미래 인생 몰라 이럴 때 너의
I escape to you. Yeah. I'm an escape to you too. Yeah. This feels like a song for the fans. This song just makes you smile. Damn. That was amazing. I don't know what else to say. This song, again, I'm thinking of Sujin. I'm thinking about the relationship that I-DLE have with each other, as far as them being so incredibly tight, but also the fans, and being the escape for one another, being the escape for us, us being the escape for them, and everything else is like a well-oiled machine of escapism, that we can all kind of like live free through their music and through the love that we have for them, and they can escape. It was a beautiful song, and it was such a with Polaroid and with Escape, it is such a beautiful contrast, to have something that is on the heavier side musically with something like Tomboy and Never Stop Me. It's something that is heavier on the lyrics and like the metaphors and the darkness, as far as something like Villain Dies. This song Escape just legitimately feels like I'm on cloud nine, but I'm still getting kind of like teary-eyed a little bit, because it's hard not to think about Sujin. It's hard not to think about comments when people talk about what a group did to them, as far as like saving them from doing something terrible. How music was an escape. It's just a beautiful thing, and it's incredibly inspiring, and it's absolutely, heartbreakingly beautiful, is what I would describe the song as. And honestly, I don't feel like I can't do this song any justice, no matter how much I'll talk about it. So I'll just say that it's absolutely beautiful, and these girls cannot stop creating masterpieces with so many different genres. They can go as dark as possible with something like Sculpture and still make it a masterpiece. They can go somewhere very poppy, very cute. They can go somewhere in between. They can go biblical or religious. They can. There's not a single fucking genre that they cannot do, from a singing perspective, adapting their vocals to that style, from producing the song, writing the song with Soyeon, and the various of other members who also participate in these activities. It was beautiful. The song is incredible. Let's move on to the final song on this album. Technically, My Bag is the final song on this album, but I did react to it already. You can check out my I-DLE playlist somewhere up here, which also includes Tomboy, of course. But it also includes the Studio Chum performance of Tomboy, as it was a double reaction with Stray Kids, which was a lot of fun. Man, I had so much fun with that video. Holy shit. This song just makes you smile as much as it makes you want to cry as well. It almost makes you, on one hand, cry sad tears because, you don't have Sujin. At the same time, it makes you cry happy tears because of what this group kind of it means to so many, including myself, because they're by far one of my favorite groups. The final song for today is Liar. Let's go. Oh. I've been walking up in different places. Somebody's a bit of a rover.
말도 없던 거짓말들 내 자신을 잃어서 감정들이 없는 인형같이 억지스러운
Like a doll without emotion. So I'm not the Barbie doll, but I am an emotionless doll because I'm a liar. That's a really cool... Man, this whole album is like a roller coaster of emotion, and then the last song is My Bag. So let me show you what's in my bag. There's lies, there's villains, there's fucking Polaroids, there's acceptance, there's denial, there's peacefulness, there's lies. This is cool. Oh, the stutter. Oh my. Tomboy. Make sure to tell your mom. Hey, let's take it back. Soyeon is killing it. 그래 맘대로 짓거려야 I'm a crazy tomboy 다시 패스포트 그녀처럼 잡 my hair 또 내가 딴따라란 맘에 안 들던 네 엄마께 나도 별로였다고 Make sure to tell your mommy 너나 차라고 말해 또 그놈의 예의 뒷담보다 납담이나 넌 없겠지만 패기 네 다음에 인간 다 안 된다 애기 취급 전에 맞춤법이나 맞춰 안 돼 아이요 내게 뭐라 해도 관심 없어 Keep calling me a liar. Damn. I don't feel any desire. We speak and drifting, don't need no tire. I love how they say the word speeds but slowly and so deliberately. I am high priced like a diamond shine. Why you think that I'm a piece of glass? You beautiful creatures, you. That's some beautiful lyrics. Also, I believe in My Bag there's a mention of a diamond, which is supposed to reference Sujin too. And it's something that I didn't notice in my reaction because there were no captions. But this is amazing. I'm a diamond, but you keep treating me like glass, which is incredibly fragile. But diamonds get built up due to insane amount of pressure. Diamonds are created in the rough. Which is also why I'm a filthy liar, because, you know, damn, fuck. This might be my favorite song from the album. I love that stutter. I am high priced like a diamond shine. Why you think that I'm a piece of glass? Bring my heart, you can see the real me. Go to hell, baby, what's it to ya? Call me a liar. You keep calling me a liar. I don't feel this album is a 10 out of 10. Oh. Holy shit, that was amazing. And off the top of my head, if I had to pick, I love the album. I love Villain Dies. I think I like it even more, which is crazy. But like the contrast between all of these songs and this song having like that rock element in the chorus, and it's so gritty. And the lyrics, the metaphors were so fucking cool. And it puts a completely different perspective on a song like My Bag, as far as like showing you what's in my bag, and the mention of the diamonds too, as far as like all of them being high valued and not that piece of glass that they were essentially in a song like Never Stop Me because their heart was broken and now they became the villain. But now it's almost like they're going on their villain era basically, and the villain never dies, or a villain dies maybe eventually. Once it gets overcome with the hero, with the heroine. Once they find love again, maybe that's when the hero actually will die. The villain will die. Sorry. So this song, it almost feels like when they say "you keep calling me a liar," it's like the person is calling them a liar because they say that they don't have any desire for him. So it's like you're lying, but in reality, they legitimately are on their own journey, like waking up in different places and whatnot, which kind of like reminded me of Rover because of Kai and kind of like looking into the meaning of the word rover, like a wanderer that goes from place to place and doesn't really have a home. So it's almost like idol are in search of their own home, and that's why they can run anywhere, as long as they have maybe that like that Polaroid, as far as like the song Escape goes, and connecting Polaroid to it. Like as long as I have that image of our happy moment together, I can go anywhere and I feel as if I'm with you and you're with me and all that kind of stuff. But this song really emphasizes like their fierce badass aspect. I feel like this album in general did a phenomenal job of really touching so beautifully on the various characteristics of idol and showing vulnerability with songs like Escape and Polaroid, showing like a chill nature that is almost like accepting of a breakup. With Already Villain Dies is basically like an origin story of a villain because of this breakup. Never Stop Me was also amazing. Could have easily been the title track, to be honest. Tomboy, of course. Again, I believe Mion had like a suitcase and whatnot, burning the car. Like I feel like you can take a lot of visuals from with Uki driving the car. I feel like you can take a lot of the visuals from Tomboy and actually apply them to Liar too, which is pretty cool. And then My Bag is literally a song that exposes the entirety of Idol's bag, as far as like the talent, the versatility, the emotions, the various concepts. It's not just a song that makes you want to really go crazy. It's really a song that touches on so much within the concept of idol, which is basically like an endless supply of concepts. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. This song was amazing. This entire album is phenomenal. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If I made any sense throughout this entire video, let me know in the comment section. Hope you enjoyed it. If you've been waiting for this reaction for a while, I'm sorry for keeping you guys waiting. And I'll catch you all in the next one. There's going to be a ton of uploads, which will also most likely include Allergy by Idol. So yeah, I have a lot of stuff to edit, a lot of stuff that I filmed already, and I'm kind of excited because I'm about to check out Idol's pre-release video with Allergy. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you want to see my reaction to Queendom, which features Idol, of course, check out the Patreon, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day. See ya.